know what company that tour guide was from, by the way. All right, so thermal imaging. So you guys should be able to see me in that camera.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I'm orange, red, and yellow, right? That means I'm the hottest thing in there. Sorry, you guys aren't a bridal party. It's not funny. When it's a bridal party and they're drunk, it's hysterical. Like some girl pees, it's great. It happens every time. But anyway, we're looking for cold spots with this guy, literal cold spots. So everything around me should be somewhat blue or black, right? So the blue and black are going to be the coldest areas. There's also a blue dot that's going to move around the screen to show you where the exact coldest spot is in the frame at that given time. It moves all over. So I kind of like watch that when I'm going through your guys' video. In the event, we're a little bit of a smaller group, but we want to try to keep somebody's skin tone in with this guy. Watch, because when I leave the screen, the orange, red, and yellow is going to go somewhere else. So, again, you can kind of...
Is that the blue dot floating?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll float around, but I did leave the crosshairs in case we need to measure something directly, so it stays directly in the center. So it also kind of gives us an ambient temperature at the same time. But we want to, the skin tone, obviously we're going to be 97 to 99 degrees out here. It's about 69 to 71 degrees out here, based on me wearing pants. I don't normally wear pants. I was like, oh, it's going to be under 70. It might be a little chilly. But anyway, so we're literally going to be looking for cold spots. This does record the entire thing for us. We are going to do a few start and stops, only because even though as great as the camera is, the software is not. So we will do a couple of start and stops with this, and I will always give the cue. And Peter, Greg, this one's going to go to you, only because I want your commentary on there all night long. So, your finger just went over the camera. Good job. There you go. You're good now. It's on your left-hand side.
Okay.
So
I should...
Yep, just hold it just like a normal cell phone. Okay. So that is a construction phone with an extra outer case on it. You cannot hurt it. So just so you know. And everything I have is insured, so if you guys drop my stuff...
Are you sure? Because I do break things.
You're fine. The red square, that means that it's recording. When I say, let's go ahead and stop the recording, you're going to tap it, it'll turn to a circle. So a circle is obviously the stop. Who is blowing up my phone? Other people are trying to get on the tour tonight, they're too late. So, let's get... I know, I'm a trip, ain't I? Where do we get going? Alright. So,
you want some light, or...?
Nope. I know my gear.
How about some thermal?
I know, you can see us. So, spirit boxes. We're going to be using a couple different types of spirit boxes. By the way, with a smaller group like this, we are only going to focus on things that can record. So, one device will not record tonight. However, I will be manually recording some of the readings that come off of that. So, but this spirit box, are you guys familiar with spirit boxes?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is going to sweep through FM radio stations, just like you guys see on TV. However, mine are set up a little bit different. The ones on TV give you disembodied voices, meaning they're not coming from radio stations. They're claiming that they're actually coming from ghosts. Those are a rarity. I might get 3 or 4 of those a year. We have this one slowed down on purpose. We want the song lyrics, the DJs, and the commercials to come through. In the event we can make something out, it's a 50-50 shot. I can tie it to the location of where we are, a person I'm talking about in history, or even something going on with one of us. So if mine or Nick's name pops up, it's going to be a little freaky, because we both share the same name. We need to know who the hell it's referring to. We're going to talk more about all of your devices, by the way, at the first stop, where we'll each have a one-on-one where I can show you more tactics with your device. The cool thing about this guy is it's going to record the entire thing for you. Even when it's on mute, it'll record at a nice even level. It's beautiful. So when I go to some of my haunted locations that I'm visiting and investigating, I just turn this thing on, put it on record, throw it in my pocket, listen to it later, just to see what actually pops up out of it. So, Sam, you have one button to worry about. It's a volume button.
Okay.
It's right here at the top, and it's a wheel, so kind of feel that out
like
for a second.
Radio?
Yep, just like a radio. It's already sweeping through the radio stations, and you don't have to hit anything else other than that volume button, so it's doing all the work for you.
All right.
Let's go into the other spirit box. So Kathy, you're going to get this one, and I love this one because it's kind of my first indication of something that might actually be happening. So this one's going to give us words from time to time in the center of the screen. So I'm just showing everybody what it's going to actually do for you. And then it's going to save all of those words to a list. Yes, this is a phone app. It's an upgraded phone app, so there's over 9,000 terms and phrases in here. So I'm going to clear out last night's tour. They had 100 terms. I normally get about 65 to 75 average in a 2-hour time frame. They had 100. However, it was a weak list. I would just put it out there. And I'm always going to be honest with you guys. I'm not here to make stuff up. So you guys will get your full list back. 80% out of what comes out of this guy is absolute BS. Remember, it's a phone app. It's going to generate phrases and terms from time to time. It's the other 5 to 20% that are going to be matchable, same way with the spirit box over here. A location, a person, one of us, right? So in the event that it's relevant, I'll put it, you're going to get the whole list, but I'll bold the ones that are relevant, give you the reason why, and then give you a link to show you where I got my information from. So it's not because I told you so, it's because Britannica.org told me so. Make sense?
So words are just going to randomly pop up?
You got it. And at times, I'm going to say, where are we at with the list? Did you see the little scroll to the right of that?
Oh, jeez.
It's right to the right of the word. You got it.
Yeah,
So we have sex that popped up, everybody. So
yeah,
we're all
just so you know,
adults
the first word, is sex.
So you hit the little scroll, and it's going to give you the full list. You'll be able to scroll through it when we get more, and then you just hit the circle back to go back to your main screen.
She looks different.
That's it. I know, it happens.
Okay. Good thing I'm...
You know, you look like a skeleton on this thing.
Brad, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Brad, you're going to be my multitasker. Perfect. So, we need some kind of EMF detector, right? You see them on TV, usually they have like blinky lights, right? This one's a lot more accurate. So this one is the top number is EMF. Anything above 2.5 mellagauss, I want to know what's going on. And at times, this is the one that does not record anything, so I'm going to constantly check in with you so I can write down your readings. So anything above 2.5, right now it's at 0.8 only because we're near some wiring and a crosswalk. The bottom number is ambient temperature. In case Dad finds something on his camera, you and I can prove it or debunk it pretty quickly with the probe up here at the top. Last but not least, it has one more function. You have a lot to do, buddy. It's a motion meter, so a REM pod. So if anything gets close to that antenna, it will go off. The closer it gets, the higher it's going to go. So again,
this is a repeated canal fold.
Yeah.
we are going to. I'll show you more about that at the first stop because it does get a little annoying when I'm trying to tell history and go through things. So just leave the little flap open in the back so you have access to the button. But right now, just focus on your numbers. All right, Nick, that's it. No, I'm kidding. You get my brand new device.
Ooh.
Fancy. We're still experimenting with it. Yes, it is very fancy. And actually, my wife actually helped me put it together.
Will you get out of my face?
We're just trying to see how hot you were.
It's not hotter than me.
No.
No, not hotter than me. Ooh.
I know, right? So, quick demo on this guy. You guys should not be able to see me in that little screen. It should be pretty dark.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's turn on some lights. So we're working with full spectrum lighting.
Is that a full spectrum camera?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So it has been altered, so obviously you can't see the lights with your own eyes. If you look at the front of this, there's two of them. I consider this one short range. There's a button at the top you can turn on and off if we're like in a crowd because it will bleach out. This one up here, just leave these alone. They're already set up because the bottom one gives us night vision, and let's just face it, that brings more attention from other tours like bothering us, and I don't want them to bother us. So this is long range, so there's 4 of those. It's going to project light further. Okay. This one is more about what's lined up with the lens here, like direct focus, and you're going to see, like, go ahead and grab that guy. So you're going to notice, like, I'm in the purple sight. What do you got? Yeah? Vague, but loosely relevant. But I'm in a purple circle. But what I'm looking for in this guy are things in the darkness. So I'm looking for things up here.
Right.
Things that should not be able to reflect light. Because that is a different type of light that we obviously cannot see. So now that everybody has... Yeah, it does record. So again, yours is going to be start and stop. We're going to wait till we get to our second location. So that way, because that one there is like a hot spot. The first location we go to is just kind of a test model so you guys can get used to your gadgets and gizmos. My father. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
You are my father.
So let's talk about why we're here. Questions, comments, concerns so far?
Yep.
Everybody good with what they have?
Mm-hmm.
Good, because it's coming back to me at the end of the night.
I can't do this. Start my own ghost hunting thing.
So everybody asks me where I get my gear. At the top of your data page tomorrow, of course, I leave you all the links of everything that I use.
Oh, you're the best.
So, and not to mention the podcast. So a lot of people ask about the podcast and the gear. So that way they can actually check things out. It's not me pushing stuff. It's just a matter of everybody asks. So I got tired of it. You know, hey, I go to this website and that website. It's just all right.
Oh, that's awesome, Nick.
So let's talk about why we're here. So I asked you guys to meet me across from Big John's Tavern, right? In your text. So we used to meet right by it because it was closed. It literally just opened like 3 weeks ago. But it's reopened as Big John's. There's been a couple of things in between, but you see the established in 1955. So Big John was a football player for the New York Giants in 1947. So I'm not a sports guy, like I told you, so I had to memorize this crap so I can tell you that. So Big John, this was his place. He sat in the back of the bar, and he used to tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel, if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, 2 guys come in, they're not old enough. He has a bartender throw them out. They leave pretty pissed. They come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Now, Big John sees what's going on. He gets up from the bar, he starts pounding these guys into the floor, just beating the hell out of them. So Next thing you know, a gunshot goes off. John gets hit in the neck, and the bullet lands in the wall. So John gets up. He's the one that got shot, by the way. Just want to emphasize that. He's the one that gets up, goes back to the bar, and tells the bartender to get him another beer, gets the 2 guys on the floor, an ambulance. Now, kind of a funny story, because he's the one that's shot and wounded, and he's the only one that actually got up. The bullet hole is what's haunting the place. People that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous headache. Those kind of light mentality things. Anybody feels any of those things, I need to know immediately. It's exactly why we start here, so I can give this heated warning. I won't say that people have not passed out from the store because of too much activity on a nice cool night like this, but it's happened. So most of the time it's a psychic, and they didn't give me the info ahead of time so I can kind of warn them about certain locations. I will tell you also, from me being inside the bar, the only place I ever get any kind of EMF detection is in the front of the bar. I don't know if the bullet hole is still there after the renovations. I still have to get in there and go check and make friends and rub elbows with the new owner. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Let's not talk about something about our own health, shall we? Let's move on. Same building. You guys taken any kind of Charleston tour at all?
Yes.
Do you know that we had a big earthquake here in 1886?
Yes.
Okay. This is where the first death occurred, allegedly. The mantle you see in the middle of the building also goes around to the front, so a piece of that broke off from the earthquake, struck somebody in the back of the head, and apparently killed them, and they say you could see his ghost in the middle of the night. I said apparently and allegedly a lot with that story because I don't have any proof. I just like telling the story, and it's a great segue for you guys not to be thinking about getting sick on my door. So, are you guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yes. Go.
Let's go to our first stop. Let's do this. We're going to go this way. Bag's a little lighter. With all my batteries and all, like 40 pounds back there. Time with you, you should think of this kind of like a ghost hunting 101. This is a level 1. Things are going to be very easy here. This is the big red barn lot. This is where we keep the horses for your carriage rides. The horses are inside that barn. They do not like white noise or lasers. Luckily, none of us have lasers connected, so we're in the bag. So, the only place to go is very simple. This is just a quick stop so I can get you all used to your devices a little bit more. This is where we help horses that deliver milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. That's it. Let's talk about the spirit boxes, because we have 2 of them running. Also keep in mind we're close to Big John's, so this is not TV. This is not, is somebody here? Because if the answer no, they're here.
Yeah, right.
They lie. That goes, we're moving on. So this is, we're looking for specific details. That's why you guys are here. We want proof that the paranormal is actually happening. We've all had probably some kind of experience, which is why we're coming to you. So we're going to ask questions to you and the answers to in this level 1, kind of getting used to your devices. If somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, we're looking and listening for the color red. Keep in mind, you're using DJs and commercials to convey messages. The word red might not be there, but the word fire truck, blood, heart, those 3 things are specifically red. So, again, that's an acceptable answer. In the event we get some kind of mislead from Big John's teammates, happens often. You get the word art on your word list, and you hear the number 40, Art Faircloth is number 40 on Big John's team. You see where I have to make those connections? Yeah. A lot of my stories throughout the night have multiple people with the same name. So just like me and Nick, it's going to be the same principle. There's actually 2 other Nicks that I'll tell you all about later, close to the end. So I know, it's going to be crazy. So with that said, that's how we're going to use the spirit box. We're not going to be going after your single questions. In the event you don't get an answer before it goes to Big Red Barn, we'll do that. If somebody's here, tell me what you see. Yeah. Then you have animals, horses, draft horses, and that type of thing. Milk, eggs, delivery. Every story I'm going to give you keywords of things that
You gonna keep looking in the same direction, or are you gonna like scan around?
I have been. But why is that sign blue?
And anything related to a bar. You guys get the gist of where I'm going with this?
Yes.
So, and what's funny is what we used to hang inside that bar, what it was known for, there were bras hanging from the ceiling all the time. So, yeah, sometimes lingerie would pop up. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? That was what it was known for. They don't do that anymore. They're trying to be a classy joint. I don't know what's wrong with a bunch of bras hanging from the ceiling, but whatever. So this is spirit boxes. Feel free to roam around. As far as your thing goes, I want to work with the 2 cameras first. It's just kind of show them a little bit more tactics.
Go right in.
And then I'm going to go right into yours.
So we're just going to kind of wander?
Yeah, we're going to stay within the confines of this
right
line.
here.
Just remember, Sam, that the horses don't like the sound of your device.
Okay.
So just kind of keep it audible to you.
Okay.
Nick, I think you have the gist of what you're looking at over here. So again, you can use this start and stop on the short range as much as you want to. Just leave the top ones alone. If things start to bleach out, again, I'm looking for things in the darkness. So if things are like really blurring up and whitening up your screen, just go ahead and turn it off, and that way you just have the long range moving. Greg, as far as yours goes, you're actually pointing directly at the wall, which is normally what I have people do anyway. Do you see how the wall bleeds out?
Yes.
Okay, so watch when my hand comes into view. Watch what happens to the wall.
Yes.
So the wall changed complete opposite color. So it went from red to blue, I'm sure.
Yes.
Because that's normally what I go through. So again, you're just going to try to keep somebody in view most of the night. If you can't, it's okay. You can still kind of determine where the cold spots are. Mm-hmm. Also keep in mind your floating blue ball. If you have sky in view, it will automatically jump because it doesn't know what to measure because it's going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, it's measuring 2 different things laying right here on the ground.
On the ground?
Yeah.
Is it like, what's the degree temperature?
One's 85, and then, come on, jump over.
What's your ambient temperature say at the bottom number?
72.5.
You have 85 as your cold spot?
Yeah.
What's the crosshair say?
Well, okay, take a look and you tell me. The little blue thing keeps jumping right here.
86, 83. So you are a little high. So I'm going to stop it. We should jump way down now. There we go. That's better. So it does that from time to time. When I fire it up, it jumps up like a good 10 to 15 degrees. I don't know if it's because of the temperature of what was in my bag and the lens was still warm.
Dude, I'm hot stuff.
I know, right? But again.
So I'm looking for, okay, if I pan over here to Sam and I see Sam, I'm looking for another thing around her.
Correct.
Emitting heat.
No, cold.
Cold. It'll be blue.
Blue or black.
Blue or black.
So you have kind of a grade up
If you
here.
see a human shape that's
High temperature to low temperature.
Okay, I follow you.
So right now you have a little bit of sky in there, so it's going to go all the way down to the 40s because it doesn't know what to measure.
I'm with you.
So, again, complicated tool, but it's a lot of fun to watch later on.
Yeah.
All right, Brad, let's talk about yours.
okay.
You look like a skeleton on here.
I'm just basically scanning general area. Got it. Also this thing. Yep. So again, we're not recording this yet. This location is just for you to get actual views. Okay. So you check in with Kathy and then we're going to go into real history. How that's up. Kathy, how's the list coming? football players and ponies. We've got a 300-year-old city here, and I'm talking about horses and dead football players.
Yeah. It's about live football players.
But you missed I'm not a sports guy.
No.
Not at all.
No. I'm only really a football fan. I don't like baseball, basketball, Olympics. I don't like none of that shit. Football, I love.
I don't do sports at all. No. I'm the book nerd.
Well, I would say that I'm the history nerd.
Stay recording the whole time?
In this location, then we'll stop it again because then we have a little bit of a walk after this. All right, guys, so welcome to another beautiful site in Charleston. You guys don't know where to park by the time you're done with me. You guys got bigger issues that I can't fix, I'm sorry. So, dude, I am loving the chops, by the way.
Hey.
I
Thank
missed
you.
my big, long sideburns.
He gets,
What?
made fun of a lot. So,
Well,
I mean, teased lovingly.
Yeah, lovingly
Tease
teased.
loving. Perfect. Alrighty. That's when you hit that green button, or that side button. Make sure it's not you. But we're actually going to turn that little white button off in the back just so I'm not interrupted, so I can get you guys the history. We're also going to keep that turned down because it is recording. Got it? I know it's tricky in there, man.
I don't got it. I'm sorry.
You're good. That's why you guys keep me around. Yeah, use your nail if you have to. Just kidding. So, welcome to the Pinkview Mansion site. So, this is a very interesting place. This is one of my most haunted places that I take people to. I won't lie to you guys. Last night, it was super late in here. I did not have much going on at all. I won't say I didn't have anything. I just didn't catch anything during my night. So, what is this place? Let me first give you the information that we're on kind of a level 2. You're not going to know the answers like what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the red one, right? Like this is going to be, you're going to get the answers from the spirit boxes. So this is where Eliza and Charles Pinkview lived. Mansion was in the front. Eliza's garden was lined up with that left tree and came all the way across, and we are standing where the servant quarters would have been for the home. So Eliza married Charles. Well, let me stop there again. I missed another part. Otherwise, the kids will smack me later. So Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles, the second Charles, and they had a nephew named Charles. See why I always need those double clues so I know who the heck we're talking to? The son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but you guys are all on vacation, and nobody wants to talk politics, including me. So, we're going to talk about Eliza. She married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you how old she was. I'm just going to tell you that Charles was over double her age. Yeah, pretty big gap. I know. Weird. But she did marry him out of love. This was in the 1740s. She married him because her father over in England thought he was dying, and he wanted to see all his kids one last time. She didn't want to go home. She didn't believe he was dying yet. So she put her foot down and got married out of love. Wasn't arranged. Wasn't for a green card because there was no such thing yet. But yeah, people do ask, believe it or not. So she got married, and then Dad got better, and then he started sending her gifts. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. So you guys have been in town for a few days. You've seen the word indigo a few times. It started right where you're standing, literally. So here's what happened. She had to learn from her slaves on how to keep it cultivated in our weird temperatures. The slaves that she had came straight from the Gullah culture. So if you haven't heard of Gullah, these are slaves straight from Africa. They're agriculturists, basically, farmers. So she learned from them how to keep it going. Our weird temperatures in January, February, it does get cold here. We don't always get snow, but it's cold. I mean, I'm talking 33 degrees, right before it's supposed to snow, right?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
And I'm
know
out here
that.
torn with hot hands and a winter coat, the whole nine. People want to go ghost hunting. You only want to know what comes up on that thermal. There's not a whole lot of red, orange, or yellow on there at all.
Oh, no.
So, at any rate, so once she had it figured out here, she experimented. She moved it to her farm and they had a mountain project. So then she calls her dad, not literally, because this is a city. And she says, hey Dad, I need somewhere to sell this. Like, this is a big crop. Price plantation is going downhill here, and we can sell this stuff internationally. She's now a businesswoman in colonial times. Businesswoman. Unheard of during this time. So again, this is a huge, huge deal. If you're unsure bit of what indigo actually is. It's a plant that makes blue dye, that makes blue jeans blue. Nick's wearing it right now. That's how we still use it. It's on your body right now. Crazy stuff, right? So this is where it all started. I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg of what she's actually done for our country, but there's a lot of weird stuff we can ask about, and she's pretty open about. Now, before I get into this, because last night was really late, and I thought to myself, I should actually tell Eliza, we're going to ask the same questions we ask every night. Can you answer some of them? So we have the same type of boxes and that kind of thing, so just do us a favor and give us some answers. I'm trying to teach these folks about your life. So, Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles, back to back. So now we have 2 Elizas, 3 Charleses, right? So I know, crazy stuff. Eliza, they both go by their maiden name, which starts with the letter L. They don't have the same maiden name because they're not related, but they both start with the letter L, ironically. You can ask what that maiden name is. You can ask about the marriage ages that I gave you earlier. You can ask what happened to the mansion. It's obviously not here anymore. And you can ask when that tragedy happened. Yes, I just gave you a clue that it's a tragedy. So take it for what it is. We're looking for clues around that tragedy. Eliza's death. So ask anything you want to. Hey, Eliza, how old were you when you died? What did you die from? Where did you die? What did I miss? What did you die from? Where are you buried? How old? Oh, what U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? So that's a pretty big question, and those are prominent answers. Yeah, so when that comes through, there's no denying that we actually have something going on here. As far as the kids go, you know she has at least one, right? Because I told you, Charles, he was the signer of the paper. But you can ask how many kids and get their names, but there is a tragedy among those children that she does not like to talk about. So I've seen all activity stop, including all EMF readings. Things go a little wonky when we start poking the bear too hard. So again, just keep it light if you're going to ask about the kids. But that's pretty much how we're going to go about this to get things started. If words start to pop up or you hear things, use it as a conversation piece. Give her a little bit of time to answer. If you hear something like 235, you can say, hey, Eliza, what's 235 mean? It's the address. That's where we are. I've heard it before. So if you get words that pop up, like a name, hey, did you know Josephine? And I'm just throwing stuff out there, stuff I haven't really gotten or anything irrelevant even. But again, keep that as part of the conversation. Just keep it going. Just give her a little bit of time to answer. Ask the same question multiple times. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and start your video. So tap your... Oh, you got to tap it. You got to really press it in there. It's in a waterproof box. So press it hard.
I got the video camera.
All right, perfect. Perfect. I see it flashing. So keep in mind, people with cameras, gentlemen, people do not like their cars being filmed. Just think of it, if it were your car, would you be suspicious of some guy with a crazy thermal imaging camera? If I was a thief, this would be my #1 tool, by the way, because I know how long all these cars have been here based on the heat signature. So again, I know which ones to go after. So just kind of be respectful of other people's cars and don't go in between them or film them for long periods of time. As we kind of go through this, I'm going to be bouncing around with all of you, kind of letting you know what's going on with each other person's device. And of course, manually recording anything that comes out of Brad's. And if you guys hear things out of yours, definitely write them down because that does sound very nice watching. So again, you can turn it up here. You're not bothering anybody. We did have a problem with the homeless up at the gate, but there wasn't anybody when I came down. So we've been doing pretty good here the past 6 months. The dark corners for you, Mr. Nick, so the darker the better. Okay. And Brad, definitely get your REM pod antenna thing turned back up. If you need help with that button in the back, I can help you out. Or even if you and Mom want to switch, I'm okay with that too. You guys are in the same family. I don't have to re-sanitize anything. All right, let's do this. I'm going to check you guys in. Give me just a few minutes to get you guys all squared away, and I'll start bouncing around with all of you. Nobody likes a teacher hanging around anyway, right? Yes.
One of the L names, Leonardo?
No.
Okay.
What else do you have before I get going? Hit the scroll. A little white button.
Are you here with us tonight? Can you show yourself? Can you show yourself? Are you here tonight? Can you show yourself? Am I in your house? I'm walking around your house. I'd like to meet you. We all would like to meet you tonight. Indigo is a lovely product. Where are you? Okay, I'm looking for cold spots.
Cold spots that shouldn't be. Like if you see the outline of a person, but yet it's blue or black, like that dark color, that's a spirit.
Okay.
Because we only give off heat.
Right.
See some proof from that thing? Bring it up here. Sorry, my new co-host for the podcast has been blowing up my phone today. She wants to start going through all my St. Augustine stuff. So they just started on the research. So here, I keep an evidence folder. I guess it keeps people coming on the tours.
Well, sure.
So this actually occurred right up there in that right corner. Do you see the
really?
lamppost?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wait till here to actually show it. So there's going to be 2 living people walking past the wall. Do you see the orange heads?
Yeah.
So I use it as a reference because they're supposed to be orange. Let's go a little bit further. You're going to see 2 dead people coming up right next to the post. Did you see him go by?
Yeah, they were dark blue.
Yep, and this guy was always in view. He was a little further over, but he was always in view. So because that's used by firemen and mechanics, I've gotten some firemen on some Zoom calls to analyze stuff, and they're like, yeah, there's no denying. That's not a car, that's not anything. It's literally 2 heads you can see walking by. So that's probably the best piece of evidence I have from that. That actually came up about a year ago. But again, it's one of the reasons why I keep coming here.
Right.
Because you just never know.
You never know. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go over that way.
Yeah, we'll go over that way. All right, how are we doing on that spear fund?
Got anything?
Yeah, weird stuff.
Why?
But it also said Eric and my father.
Eric and my father.
Grandpa Larry, are you here? Watching over us?
I wish I'd smelled the smoke.
Oh, right.
Mom, can you show me you're here? Can you bring the smoke?
Yeah, so that's coming on. Aw, is everybody gone?
I keep seeing something that's on my eye. I don't usually do my own, like, I'm not a psychic or medium or anything. I don't put my feelings. Obviously, you guys are all using here, but I keep seeing something like at the corner of my eye. So he's been filming this direction. I'll have to watch
Well, I
it.
think just 2 seconds after you mentioned that, I thought I saw something on the camera zoom.
Well, we've got a backup camera going on over there too. And he's pointing right at us. I want some names. Who else is here? Who else is here with us? Trying to get some names out of that thing, and by the way, this is where the fire occurred, right in this corner. Just so you know, like that's why that stuff comes up here. So it's kind of a good thing you guys came up this way. Hold on.
I don't know why the windows are blue and the bottom ones are red. Any names? Any more names?
Well, you saw Eric.
Yeah.
It's Eric,
Alarm.
Joseph. I asked what happened to the house, and it says alarm. There's the other words.
Was there a fire?
The other two.
I just told Brad as we're back there changing my battery. I keep forgetting you guys are from Akron. I used to actually run the FYE store in Rolling Acres Mall.
Oh, no
Hi.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, you just dated yourself.
You dated yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God.
Well,
you
before
know that's
that,
gone.
Oh yeah, long gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Before that, I worked for the same company at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and then I ran the movie store in Tower City behind the FYE with the big
Okay.
Chevy in the window. I know it's
Yeah.
not there anymore either.
Right.
But I ran the movie store in the back. That's how I got started. Then they moved me to Rock Hall. And then I got the store over in Akron. And then after that, I'm like, I seen CDs were phasing themselves out, so I got out.
right.
And then I
Yeah.
ran video game stores in Youngstown. So that was called Game Crazy. I don't think you guys had them in Akron. But I ran 5 stores for that company. So again, it was,
Small world.
well, I had a 21 retail career in management. And then I walked away from a 6-figure salary to use my degrees and do this.
And do this. There you go.
So I have 3 degrees. I'm like, I'm going to use them. Let's do this.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But you guys can see, obviously, the passion is here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, instead of managing, and well, my last bit of career was managing Walmart stores. So,
Okay.
I mean, I had 400 employees. So, again, like ridiculous.
Right.
Like in Walmart, and I spent 10 years with that company. Blew my mind that I stayed there that long. But yeah, walked away so I can be
You
a
can
tourist,
do this.
so I can write books by day
Yeah.
and take you guys ghost hunting at night so I can eat.
There you go.
There you go.
I'd love to do that.
Well, all my degrees are in writing.
Oh,
I
okay.
have 2 bachelor's degrees and I just finished up my master's.
Good for you.
So,
Congratulations.
Thinking about going back into my PhD, but probably not. We want to get the store going. The podcast has to get back up and running.
Before
So
you
that was probably from your movement. Go ahead and reset it.
You ever thought of taking a trip north to Gettysburg?
I already did.
Oh, you did?
That's how I knew about the tower.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I knew about the tower. I have all my data from that investigation because I did a little big top, a little round top. What's the Devil's Den? Then I have one, Jenny Wade House. I already
Wade
published that one.
Did you?
Then I got to do the other 2, but I just did the St. Augustine Lighthouse. So the people that I joined up with to do that are waiting for the data back, but it's a podcast episode, so I'm going to go through it thoroughly.
Yeah.
And my new co-host, like, that's why she's blowing up my phone, because she's, you know, what are we doing? Are we going to do another Gettysburg, or are we going to do
Right.
St. Augustine investigation? Like, we're going to St. Augustine because it's with 2 other podcasts. I have to get them the data too, so that they can broadcast it. We get a lot of advertising, you know, that kind of thing. So
Right.
it's all of shake hands, rub elbows kind of mentality.
Sure. Yeah.
But, and it's all monetized. I mean,
Right.
again, I was in retail management.
Yeah.
I know how to market.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys are here.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. I run a paint store, so
Oh,
I know all
you
about
get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
You totally get it. And my wife, unfortunately, is still in retail. But she works at Best Buy.
Okay.
So obviously, we're techies. You know what I mean? We have the gear. We know what
Right.
we're doing. She's the one who put the full spectrum camera together for me because her degrees are in graphic design and photography.
Oh, it is?
So again, whenever I have something that's weird,
Yeah.
it goes to her. So I'm like, tell me what's going on here. Was it the camera? Was it the phone? Was it, you know, do we actually have an apparition? So she's involved. She's just not on the tours always.
Right.
She's behind the scenes.
Yeah. She's working the night shift at Best Buy.
Yeah, right? All right. Any other crazy terms come up? Okay. Let me see what's going on with Sam, and then we'll wrap this person up.
Can you make this turn blue just one last time so I can remember this night before I go home?
I got nothing.
All right, come over this way. I'll give you guys a name. You can stop your video too, Greg. Just hit the red square. I was going to use the night vision in the lighthouse when I was down there.
It's all right.
Did you get any names on that thing, Kathy?
I have ribbon.
Ribbon?
Yeah.
It's interesting. They showed up here a few nights ago. The last one they listed.
Cross.
Hey, all of us in. Never mind. Never mind.
What name?
See?
No. So this will be a brief stop. We're going to walk through the rest of this, but I always like to kind of give us a gist of what we're actually looking for and why. So we did have a couple names that popped up. I'm pretty sure CATHY's not on the list, but I'll have to double check. I wait for two common names that I normally hear. So this is Lodge Alley. When we crossed that last crosswalk, that was where the Charlestown Wall used to be, going up Cumberland. We're going to talk about that again once we get closer. But you're walking on one of the original streets of Charlestown, the walled city. So again, this is why these are original bricks. Obviously, they're handmade, hand-laid. You can see that. They did do an archaeological dig, and there were people that lived here. These two buildings you're seeing, they weren't here. Little tiny shotgun houses scattered about. So I have the full list of residents of every person that's ever lived here, and their occupation, and the years that they lived here. So the common names that I get are Benjamin and John. So with that said, I normally look for those two names because I get them about once a month in the same night. They both lived here in 1801. That's 2 out of 5 people. That's pretty good odds that it's the same Benjamin and John. Yeah. And it might not be on, one spirit box. I mean, we do work with several different types when I have a full group of 10. So again, when they just show up like that, somebody will come in like, it said Benjamin, or I heard Ben. Obviously I'm waiting for the next John to show up. Yeah. If we're confused on which John it is, because there were 4 different Johns that lived here in a 70 years time span, he gives us his last name, which was Johnson. So John Johnson was his name. Very interesting alley. This is also why it's called Lodge Alley, is because this is where the Freemasons had their Masonic lodge. So again, this is Lodge Alley Inn. So we'll get the word Freemason. What's funny is I had the word Illuminati show up here a few weeks ago. I'm like, yes, wow, that is great stuff. But anyway, we'll get Mason, bricks, anything related to the Freemasons, which is really cool stuff. But again, that's Lodge Alley Inn. All the hotels down here have a claim of ghost of some sort. None of them give me free rooms to verify. So next summer, the wife and I are going to be doing a round robin to all the haunted rooms and adding those to the podcast episodes to either debunk or prove what they have going on. Yeah. And most of them are pretty commercial about it. Like they'll let us in on those specific rooms. Yeah. So that'd be pretty cool. That's cool. But again, obviously with the gear you guys are using, it's pretty high tech. So I can't wait to get this high tech gear into more locations. So it'll be pretty cool stuff. Again, these people were considered lower class, so just want to kind of give you the rest of the layout. Where the street we just walked on, East Bay Street, that's where the other half of the wall was. It started going south. It was across the street. So again, the smell of low tide would have been coming through here. These people, it's not a very good smell if you've never smelled it.
Yeah, it's
pretty
just
bad.
stuff.
So yeah, it's definitely different if you guys are basically all of you are northerners, so you don't really get that all the time. I live pretty far inland to stay away from that smell. Love going to the beach, just not during low tide.
Yeah, right.
But again, this is a very interesting alley. They did find some of their tools and silverware, and those terms will come up from time to time. I've had fork with the word wood come up. There were forks with wooden handles that were found in here. So again, terms normally show up here, and we'll see what kind of happens, even though you and I didn't get a chance to listen. But it is recording, so I'll be able to verify it in the morning. Again, we're going to walk through the rest of this alley. We're going to be walking through a neighborhood. So again, if you guys want to cut your cameras, you can. If you want to keep them going, you can. It's your tour. Have some fun with it. Keep your spirit box low so only you can hear it. Sorry, Brad, you're still a little bit out just until we get to that full investigation at the end, but just let me know if any kind of high EMF show up, but we are going to be walking by parking meters. All right, let's do this.
The battery's low up there. How much longer does that have?
I carry a stack of them because I know it dies early.
This whole day, you feel like turn it off.
So it's pretty odd that they're going red already. How you guys doing? I don't know. I'm gonna take a picture full list. Ribbon is interesting because I want to say that showed up same location last week. Really? It is. Alright, bud? I know that last part's already. So the good thing is where you guys get to chill for a few. Kind of go through some of these stories. Nothing is coming out.
Up yet? Okay.
Nothing out. But I kind of give us a gist of what's going on in all these corners. There's a lot of stories on this corner. So that's why I kind of look at the list and see what direction I need to go. But we do have people that live near Philadelphia, so we're going to talk about Philadelphia Alley.
All right.
So that alley, as I'm sure you guys noticed, is brick laid. So if you look behind you, that's the wall to Philadelphia Alley. There's a gateway right in the middle of it. Actually, has a wrought iron gate. You can probably barely see it here. But that used to be called the Duels Alley. That's where the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So that gate is there. In the event there was a loser, they would obviously dead guy, right? So they would pick him up, bring him through that gate yard, over this courtyard, over to the cemetery. So it's kind of a shortcut, so they could go celebrate the winner. So again, that's why that gateway's still there. I don't even remember where I found that little nugget of history, but I'm like, I'm going to use that. That's great stuff. But we also talk about one specific duel because we can actually prove that it actually happened, and I get a lot of evidence from it, even just talking about it this far away. Not hot out of here at all.
Perfect. Like for a ghost?
That's right. If you want to cut your video instead of holding it up, you can. I get that the volume doesn't change when I give you the recording. It only changes in real time. So that's why I say it's okay, it's recording.
Yeah.
So as long as you still have that little SD on your screen, you're fine. It's recording the whole thing. And after this history portion, I'll definitely change out your battery and get you guys going. Alright, so we're going to be talking about it. I'm going to take some water. This is a doozy. So the building over here with the crosses on it, those are not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. Earthquake bolts,
yeah.
they're just behind that. You guys are all northerners, you probably haven't even heard that phrase before. No. So the gist of it is that they're on turnbuckles. You can, when we have another earthquake, which we haven't since 1886, you can turn those and it'll straighten the building back up. It's a great theory, just doesn't work. I talk to a lot of Californians. Obviously they make fun of me every time I talk about this thing because they have way different scientific methods of protecting buildings. We're going to talk about a lot of things that don't work with this building. So, it's very interesting. I told you guys about the Charlestown Wall, right? This is the street that it came on. So the street didn't exist, it was a wall. It actually went up past the gunpowder magazine and then started going south this way towards the battery. It's literally locked into the corner on purpose. We're 3 blocks away from the water. If it gets attacked by cannon, it's going to have a hard time getting through the 32-inch thick walls. That's how big they are. They're huge. So let's say it goes all the way through and blows up the gunpowder. There's sand in the roof from 1712 that will go up in the air and fall to put out the fire of the gunpowder. Another great idea that doesn't work. So we had another powder magazine closer to the battery. If you know our geography, it's much closer to the water. Cannonball did go through it, sand went in the air, fell, couldn't put out the fire, building burned to the ground, no longer exists. So, again, this one's never been attacked. However, it did go through 7 different wars. The Civil War was its last servant, just so you know how old this building is. This is the oldest government building on the East Coast, finished in 1713. Now, we do have other buildings that are older than this here in Charleston. This is just the oldest government building. So, I told you all of that history because this building, being a government building, took a whole decade to build. That doesn't sound like our government, does it? So, our story actually begins right in the middle of its construction, which means it's going to be familiar to our pilot. Young lady moves, you guys are going to follow me on this one, a lot of twists. Young lady moves here from Ireland. She's here with her dad and his mistress. The 3 of them, the mistress is her mom, by the way. The 3 of them are getting away from his wife. You guys follow me on that one?
Gotcha.
Okay, I say that one slow because that one gets a little tricky. So when they get here, we don't need any more attorneys, which is what the father was. He buys a plantation instead in the Georgetown area. That's about an hour and a half on a drive. Mom dies pretty quickly after getting here. So he starts sending the daughter down to do all the business in Charleston. She's a pretty angsty little teenager. Let me kind of give you the mentality of this young lady. Rumor had it back home in Ireland, she killed one of her servants by stabbing her in the belly. So that was her mentality through life.
Alrighty.
She was just a pissed off chick. We'll just go with that. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Building's finished, 1713, 1715, pirates are coming through town. This young lady's pretty excited. She wants to become a pirate. She wants to be free. Women didn't have the kind of freedoms that we have now. So, she falls in love pretty quickly with one of these pirates. His name is James Bonney. Starting to click together now. So, Dad doesn't approve because he's a filthy-ass pirate. Who's going to approve of that? My girls aren't going to marry pirates. So, they run away to Jamaica to get married. Anne Cormack becomes Anne Bonny, your most famous female pirate of the Golden Age.
I was about to say.
When she gets down there, Mr. Bonny is not who she thought he was. He's a privateer, makes him a spy for the British. She calls him a coward and wants out, but she can't do so. He won't divorce her. Again, 1715, 1716 era. She falls in love again. We're on guy number 2. I'll keep tally for you. This guy's name is John Rackham, aka Calico Jack. Much cooler name, much younger guy. He's called Calico Jack because he wears the jackets of the men he kills. He's a very dapper young man, and he has his own ship, and she wants to be part of it. Females curse pirate ships. You can't have a girl on a crew, but he makes a deal. If you dress like the guys and hide your gender, I'll let you on. She's okay with the cross-dressing. Dad used to hide her as a boy at his attorney office back in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. So she's like, whatever, this is what women have to do. She's allowed to be a female in his quarters. So what do you think happened next? She gets pregnant. Of course, you cannot have a pregnant pirate guy on the crew. He drops her off with some friends in Cuba. Go have the baby, we'll figure it out when you get back. She has the baby, returns with no baby. We have no idea what happened to the child.
What?
Yeah, no idea. I've read, I don't know how many books on this one woman. Nobody has a clue what the hell happened to this kid. She's also dressed like a female. She doesn't give a damn anymore about hiding her gender. This makes Jack pretty mad. You know this young lady's mentality, so she's going to make him even more mad. She's going to go flirting with the pirate crew that he just captured. They're down below deck. This is what this girl does. We're on guy number 3. The guy that she's flirting with reveals his gender to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack just captured. Which means we have 2 females dressed like men trying to be pirates on the same ship. Absolutely unheard of. This young lady's name was Mary Read. She convinces Mary Read to become part of the crew. The British find out where they are. They send their entire fleet to come and take out this one ship. All the men, literal men, are down below deck too drunk to come up. It's Anne and Mary literally fighting an entire fleet of ships. Well, obviously the ship's going to get taken, right? It's going to be captured. So, as Calico Jack is being arrested, Anne Bonny's last words were, "You should have fought like a man instead of going down like a dog." So the word dog will show up here from time to time as well. So, let's get into the judge. His name is Nicholas Laws. I told you my name shows up a lot. So if you hear my name or see my name, it's not me or the other Nick, it is the judge. He wants to see the 2 men that fought back by themselves. So he tries and hangs and kills all of Calico Jack and his men. They're already gone. November 28th, 1720, Anne and Mary, they go in front of the judge. They reveal their gender, trying to save themselves. He doesn't care that they're female. They're still pirates in his eyes. So they say, "We plead our bellies," which both means that they're claiming to be pregnant. You cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He says, fine, we'll delay your hanging until after the pregnancy, send them both back to jail. Dad is here in Charleston with all of his Irish money. He bails her out, brings her back home. She remarries again, guy number 4, because yes, we're counting Mary. And then she has 4 children, dies at the age of 84. That's all we know. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery around what happened after she got back here. Some say she went to Virginia. Some say she stayed here. Again, it's really a mystery what actually happened. What happened to Mary Read? Well, she was in a Jamaican jail, and she died from American pirates background from a Jamaican jail in 1721. So she was there almost a whole year before she died. It's probably bumpy and scurvious and whatever else you guys want to come up with. So, 2 things I did not give you that I can actually prove. The name of Calico Jack's ship and the name of Anne Bonny's parents. So, there's a question you guys can ask on your spirit boxes to see what goes on there. Cameras. If you want to go around to the front, like where that tour is going now, and get some footage, don't interrupt other tours. Kind of wait your turn. Let them get through their story. Again, they're stopping those. So we're not. We're spending a little bit of time here. Spirit boxes. Again, ask whatever you want to. If you get anything piratey or anything specific, Cuba, baby, names I can't prove in this location. There's too many pirate names out there. However, I have had the terms Calico and Jack show up here in the same night.
Oh, wow.
Like, very cool stuff. You don't hear the word Calico, and it was on that one. So, it wasn't like I thought I heard Calico, it was I saw Calico. I didn't believe this story. I didn't even want to do the pirate story until Philadelphia Alley guy picked me out. So I was like, now I gotta go into pirates. So I know a lot about this one. So again, whatever I can come up with, and I don't know why there's a garbage can. There should not be a garbage can. And that's where we're gonna end, is over there on that wall. We are gonna get close to it. And as far as the spirit box goes, if you in your REM pod, if you get any readings on the big numbers, it's excitable. This is not Pinkview Mansion where I expect 20 to 30 milligauss spikes. If you get anything above 2.5, I'm going to be stoked. Just remember, there are electrical poles on each corner.
Well, I was going to say there's the parking deck too.
Yep. Well, the center and the edges up there where the bushes are. You're going to get the parking meters, so you kind of want to wander here. And even if you go to the front with Dad, with the video, you're going to have parking meters right behind you. So it's almost like it's a gimme. I don't know where our moon is tonight. Is that our moon break up there? Yes. You might be able to get some great pictures from up in that with big clips. So if you guys are alright, guys.
Are there any pirates here tonight? Can you show yourself? Can you come by? Can you walk by? We would love to see a pirate or speak to a pirate. Are you in a building? Are you asleep? Are you awake? Hey, where's your booty?
I do.
Brady Bunch.
Yes, sir.
Anything crazy?
Nothing crazy.
So the weirdest thing that's happened here is I had a small group. It was just a couple. I had somebody using that, and the other one using the red spirit box that Sam has. And I'm obviously standing next to the person with the red spirit box. They're filming me. A white film comes over the girl with the spirit box, and the spirit box quits working. We walked away 10 feet, and it turned back on and was already on record. Now, you guys seen me fiddling with it at the beginning. It takes 3 button pushes to get it going.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It was perfectly fine. I took it home, inspected it, took the battery out, make sure nothing got wet or anything crazy. Nothing.
Nothing.
Craziest thing I ever saw with that.
Not a thing tonight.
I'm a fan of pirate.
But that's okay.
And
There's
that's
always
not
going to be on here.
right. And your device doesn't catch stuff every night. I study the spirit boxes a lot more. I skim that. I'll probably watch it for, if you have an hour to an hour and a half on there, I might watch like 10 minutes of it with spot checks. But again, I'm not going to watch us walking somewhere. I'm going to wait till we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, I used to ask where my skeptic was, and that's who got it.
Yeah.
They got that because then I wouldn't tell them it was recording audio. And then I would watch it and like hear all the horrible things they would say about the goofy guy that's running the tour.
Oh no.
So I'm like, I'm gonna quit asking about the skeptics.
Oh
so,
no.
Like I had to stop. Like, it just makes you feel bad.
Oh yeah. I'm sure.
So again,
I'm sure.
I mean, my profession to some people is a joke.
Oh yeah. No, it's not a joke. No.
Definitely not.
Well, the only thing I consider a joke is Zach.
Oh yeah, we all do.
He loves Zach.
We all.
Just thinks Zach. I'm like, dude. Zach psychs himself, and it's a TV show.
He's a TV star.
He's a TV guy. It's not as true as you think it is.
So Grant Wilson is good. I like Grant. I don't always agree with his methods because he'll do like one device at a time instead of like, you see me, I got everything thrown up out here. But I do like his approach. His methods are pretty good. Started watching the Ghost Brothers. Everybody referred me to watch a lot of my guests tell me, you gotta watch Ghost Brothers, they're hysterical. It's 3 black guys.
Oh, that's the black guy.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, they're running with some really light equipment, stuff that I really don't even use. And they're like, we're going with the K2 meter. And I'm like, dude, that thing's like, it's $50. I give that to the 6-year-old on the tour.
Right.
Because he needs blinkies to look at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're just afraid of everything. Me and my daughter are watching just crack up. And they ask yes and no questions all the time. I'm like, God, these guys are killing me.
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite is Paranormal Caught on Camera.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, you've never seen it? Oh my god, they got some creepy ass things.
This stuff is all over the place.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite shows is one of the ones that started it, which is called Paranormal State.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
It was what was that kid's name? Dark-haired kid, like black hair. It started getting a little bit demonic towards the end, like things were following him, and I'm not religious, so he would do a lot of like blessings and stuff.
Right.
So, somebody's going to their car. So it just got a little weird for me at the end, but I had my wife watch it just because I like a lot of his methods, and his thought process was really good. He was a college kid, and it was a college paranormal team that he was running.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, it was one of the first shows out there.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
yeah, Paranormal Caught on Camera. Watch, if you ever get to watch. I mean, they do a little bit of everything: UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, different things like that.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts that do stuff like that.
Yeah, and they got some really good. Some things you think, but then there's some things you go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it creeped me out last week. I forget what it was, but there was one episode towards the end, and it was like, dude, there's something there. There's definitely something there. Like one night they had a thing where this guy, he hears noises outside. So he goes outside. And he's looking around, and the guy goes, dude, it's on the roof. And he puts the camera up, and all of a sudden you see this head go up over it. It's white, and you see 2 shining eyes. And they run around the back, and it's gone. I don't know. It looked pretty convincing.
So I listen to a lot of very specific podcasts, people that help promote what I'm doing. But they just had a guest on, and this guy is claiming that he can tie paranormal evidence to alien activity. Like, he's got this whole theory of what he's got going on. He lives out in the sticks somewhere. Like, he's got all this open land. And he's got all kinds of things on. He said he has thousands of hours of footage of UFOs coming in that are also relatable to orbs. He has alien life on video. Like, and I want to see this stuff, but he hasn't revealed it.
Right.
Like, he was just talking about it. He's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, excitable to the point where he thinks something's wrong with him. Like, he almost like has a mental disability.
Right.
So again, it was one of those, what's really going on here? Let me see some of this footage. But it's not revealed yet.
Yeah.
But again, it was just interesting that he was tying the two together.
Yeah.
Let me see what Sam's got going on
Sure.
with hers, and then we'll wrap up this party. You have the word soldier. All right, Sam. What have we been hearing here?
I just heard Jackson.
Well, earlier she said to me, she's not. I don't think she's talking anymore, and then it said listen right away.
You know why Jackson, right? You know why I'm excited about this?
Calico Jackson?
No.
Something else.
General Jackson?
I don't remember.
The name of the ship,
Calhoun
or that's
was
the connection.
7th Vice President to Andrew
Okay.
Jackson.
Okay.
Calhoun and
okay.
Jackson hated each other.
I don't remember.
I'm excited about that
Yeah,
one.
I was walking over here. I asked her something, I don't remember, and she was answered, and then I heard listen, and I asked her listen for what. And then I told him, I'm like, I don't think she's talking anymore, and no one's talking, and I just heard Jackson.
Yeah, you're standing
But-
over here. Calhoun is literally 50 yards from us.
And then all the way over there, I kept hearing love. Like, what's love got to do with it, or like...
I just
love,
told you how
yeah.
this woman fell in love with 4 people.
Yeah, I
So-
kept asking her, I was
Well,
like,
she
I kept
asked,
asking her.
did you love her?
Yeah.
And it said, what does love have to do with it?
Pirates. Besties.
Yeah, I've been getting the urge to do some Calhoun stuff. I'm trying to stick with the bond.
Whatever comes through, comes through.
Yeah,
There might be
literally,
some
right before you walked over, I heard Jackson.
That's actually pretty
dark
cool.
energy involved. That monument removal that was there for over 100 years.
Well, you know they
This is
have
based- Yeah, I just read an article about it 2 days ago because I didn't know they removed base and the pillar.
Oh, yeah.
I just learned that.
Well, the capsule was a myth. They found an old newspaper that that listed what was in the capsule, and they weren't sure if it was actually real or not. And when they found it, it was true. Like everything that was in there was said to be. There was a piece of John Calhoun's hair in there, a lock of his hair. Some signatures, some papers he signed. There was some Revolutionary War money in there. All kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, it was a. I watched the live breaking it open because the mayor was there and it went Facebook Live, and I'm like, I was telling him it was part of a puzzle that I was working on, a treasure hunt down here, and I needed that damn monument to stand. So when they're doing their Black Lives Matter stuff down there, I'm like, damn it, get off that monument.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over this way. I'm excited about Jackson. We'll see if Andrew showed up anywhere.
When we asked about how many men were hung, he asked.
That was the response.
That was the
pretty
response, and then his thing went off.
Nice.
And then expensive. She asked, "Did you stay here in Charleston?"
They did it because it was too expensive. We used to have Soldier. We got the name Jackson over there.
Oh, okay.
And that's relevant because Calhoun is very